afternoon from where everybody is watching. What's crazy is sijui kama ni sisi ni wazee. We thought we were streaming for like a whole 10 minutes and then
Aki tumeongea.
tuko hapa tumepiga story alafu unapata tu hata hatuko live. But welcome to the stream. I believe right now it should be fine.
Vizuri hiyo basi nimejibu yangu haijapatikana.
Yeah, but let me see who's here. I can see Mary, karibu sana. Ian, welcome to the stream. I hope mnatusikia tuko sawa. Everybody can see us and hear us as loudly and as clearly as possible. Braxton, tuongeze volume ya mics zetu ama volume ya
Should I try talking? So that we
want. No, yeah, we'll try talking.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel.
Unasikia Victoria vizuri? Just kidogo audio. Maybe ni juu imeke amiko mbali. Ama nishikilie kama MC. Jamani mimi mzee masikio zimeharibika. Ni kama labda wewe ndio mzee. But like on my levels it shows it's okay, so I don't know if you got sawa on your end. But everything seems to look good so far. Yeah, we're good. So karibuni sana to everybody who is here. I was just saying earlier that this is the second time tunapatana officially. Tunapatana maandamano tukiwa na Victoria, alafu inakuanga some chaotic scenes, inakuanga tu vita huko, hata mnasalimiana tu mbali alafu mnaachana.
Inakuanga tu zile za hi kupasa hi.
Alafu mna dip. But maybe people would love to know how you been.
Oh. It is so weird now having to do this again.
To explain to people mara ya pili venye umekuwa.
It's okay, but I'm okay. I'm as okay as a Kenyan can be right now, because we are going through tough times.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just weird. Like, plus it's new. It's not something that we grew up knowing that when this happens, this is how you have to, this is how you deal with it.
Yeah.
So I'm as okay as a normal kawaida Kenyan who is not the president.
Yeah, but that's so lovely to hear. How are
you?
I've been okay. Let me just give the typical answer that everybody gives. Ukiulizwa umekuwa aje? Watu nimekuwa sawa. But we were just saying earlier how being a Kenyan tuko sisi wote survival mode. It's just like, I don't know, man. We're just taking life one step at a time.
Literally.
Yeah, unless like you are the 1% of wealthy people in the country, then most probably mashida zetu haziku affect, but sisi wengine we're just surviving, just taking a day at a time, fighting the government a day at a time, and then I feel like majority of us, we just want some change, which is a good thing to see now. People want a better life for themselves and for their kids in future.
Yeah, because I know literally we may not be the ones to experience the change we are fighting for right now,
Yeah.
but our kids and our grandkids, they're the ones we're doing it for.
How now what I enjoy.
Hey, they better, because tumekunya tear gas, we've really had a rough one with this.
And it really, it was so inspiring, because I remember there's a time when I was growing up, like time sasa nilianza kuelewa. Unajua mnaona kuna stage fulani ukiwa like immediately after high school or watching yet a news, so you never, nakumbuka people used to ask me, unajua una watching news, I'm like, me politics doesn't affect, so I don't really care what happens.
I don't do politics kind of statements.
I don't do politics. That was me a few years ago, until sasa now you get a KRA pin and like KRA is on your ass, the government is on your ass. Inabidi tu sasa uanze kujua politicians wote, ujue nini na happeningi, unajua constitution. And I remember one time I heard Boniface Mwangi saying that someone asked him why he goes through so much suffering for his country, and alikuwa anasema mostly it's because he wants his kids to get a better life. And it was so interesting that a dad will go to certain lengths just for the sake of their kids. Hata whatever anafanya si for
it's not for him.
Yeah, ni for watoto wake, which is very very interesting. So we are kind of all on the same cycle. Pia sisi tu tuko hapa tunang'ang'ana kupigania maisha yetu na maisha ya watoto wetu. Tuone hopefully kama tutatoboa.
Na tutatoboa.
Lazima tutatoboa. Someone says this kid and change is the only thing we are living for now. Everything else has not worked.
Periods.
Yeah, that's true. Yani sahi lazima tu unaona vile unasemanga lazima tutoke streets.
Manze itabidi.
Lazima tuomoke, you do anything.
We're doing anything.
Don't make sure umeomoka, but yeah, that's what we are all working for, and that's what we all need. So this is not a very scripted stream. We had mentioned this earlier. Tunataka tu kuona how everything is gonna go. We are gonna be catching up in the middle of the stream. We're gonna be talking about our experiences for protests. We don't want it to be also be very very sad. Tunataka ikuwe very very casual and very happy. Ikuwe a stream of hope, for lack of a better word. So yeah, we were having an icebreaker here. Yeah, a couple of would you rather questions, and then now we hop onto the photos. Victoria sent me 80 pictures. Victoria sent me 80 pictures that she selected.
Hata nilikuwa nimejaribu sana by the way.
Ndio zilikuwa zifika so mbili.
I was just like, let me just spare you this and just give you 80. It was reasonable. Alikuwa amenicha 15. How do I select 15 photos from her?
Alitumia picha 80, so mjue chat hizo picha 80 tunazichambua hapa na nyinyi pamoja. We most probably won't have to go through all the 80 of them, but tutapitia quite a couple of them zenye najua zitakuwa poa. Can you see this? Do you want me to zoom in?
Mwana Kido amesema we adjust audience.
No, that was
Kido. So we good now?
Yeah, selfie alikuwa ameniambia hataki kupata watoto kwa alichange syllabus.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of catching up to do here, yeah? What happened? Ama you're talking about your other people's kids?
Mike, kitambo nilikuwa naogopa wanawake. Nilikuwa before tuingie agenda ya actually before we came into like the whole maandamano agenda, it was fear women.
Yeah.
There was such a huge culture of fear women, and watu walikuwa wanateswa na relationships huko nje. So I remember there's a time, but nilikuwa young, I think I was like 19-20 years. Nilikuwa nasema mimi siwezi pata watoto kama hivi, ndio wasichana wanatesa wanaume. But
how is it going so far?
So far watoto lazima watakuja.
I love that.
My baby shower mtakuja mingi.
Yeah, it's okay. We are ready to be aunties, rich aunties.
You know, I used to always say if I was like wealthy enough, I'd have so many kids.
Oh yeah? Like how is so many? Like what is the number?
Maybe like 7.
How many in your family?
We are 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's now another family. I think how many are we including like my master brothers and sisters? I think we're probably like 7 also.
Okay. So you just want to have like your siblings.
But like sidhani kama mwanadada atakubali kuzaa watoto 7.
Lakini sasa unachezea watoto wangapi?
But I'd say maybe like I don't know, maybe like 3.
Okay.
I feel like 3 maximum. 3 will be like the 2 or 3. But roja pia sio unamwanga unapatanga pia madami anataka kusema ni labda anataka mmoja.
Yeah.
Alafu huko hapo unataka 7. Haizi kubali.
But 7 is crazy, no lie. 7 is crazy.
It's crazy. 7 is very crazy. There's a question here. Would you rather travel to space or explore the deep ocean? Let me tell you. I'm afraid of water. Like a lot.
So before we came, we thought we had started this one. But yeah, both of us can swim to save our lives.
Yeah.
So I think that already gives...
It's crazy how at easy miaka zetu mzee
Abu ambia kenye ulikuwa umesema ati what else can't you do?
You really want to grill me online? Guys, I believe out of all the people who are watching right now, half of us don't know how to skip rope. I can bet money, rent money that half of us have to
Kuruka kamba.
Kuruka kamba was a very girly thing. I mean, I know there are so many men who know how to do it, but I don't know, man. Iyo synchrony ya kuruka na kurotate mikono, I don't know. Nika tu venye kuna rasamanga hizi ride bike. How can you ride a bike? Riding a bike is like walking. Watu wengine wenye staki kutaja. But riding a bike is like walking.
No, not for me. It's the balancing
of the bike.
Like I'm on top of it, then nikikale nenda hivi nianguke.
But I feel like kuride bike ni easier than to skip rope. Skipping rope requires skipping rope kido. Unajua kuruka kamba na Braxton. Hamwezi kama unajua kuruka kamba.
Guys, please prove him wrong. Cause
it's actually very, very hard to be very honest. Yeah. It's very hard to be very honest. Mwanaume anafanya na kamba. Ona.
Oh. That's actually a thing.
Yeah. Kuruka kamba is not it.
Hi Mavingo.
Kuruka kamba is definitely not it.
So, I mean, my answer for this question would be explore the deep sea.
Oh, really?
The deep ocean.
No, I don't feel like I would want anything to do with the water at all.
So I'm assuming this is in the case that I am able to
dive.
Yeah. And not die inside there. Because I feel like there's so many beautiful creatures in water.
Mimi naona tu ndalipa tu subscription ya natujio.
Mimi nadai kwenda huko nione nini mama nini.
Hey man, going to the ocean is crazy. Me at a pool. Pool siwezi ingia kwa pool.
Kuingia?
Naweza ingia lakini I don't know. It will be under very heavy circumstances itafanya ningia kwa pool.
Maji most unajua ni ya karai.
Ya kuoga. Past shower so many times I even go swimming with my friends and I don't even bother to carry the costumes and everything. Nakanga tu kumisha. Nikiwaangalia hao wajibambe.
Crazy.
It's I don't know, man.
I don't know how to swim, but every time there's an opportunity for me to be inside water, I'm gonna go in.
Oh, lie.
Yeah.
Talk about like the whole body.
Hey, including nywele na niko huko nikijifanya unajua ku breathe.
Siwezi yani at all.
Interesting. I didn't know like that skipping rope is a man thing. Like it's more of a baby.
That's what I was telling Victoria earlier. Me growing up, there was no huge culture for women riding bikes. That's what happened. So many girls unazapata hawajui ku ride bikes. So sisi ilikuwa it was a purely boys thing. Kupata dem ride bike ilikuwa so unheard of.
Plus nakumbuka zile vitu walikuwa nasema. I mean,
Karadha ni nini?
Sijui. Karadha ni nini?
Braxton, karadha ni nini? Ama ni sisi hatukusoma. So, as I was saying, let me see. Victoria sent me 80 pictures. I don't know how come she sent me 80 pictures, but
ulikuwa expect ni kutumia 15 photos again.
Hapo ndo unajua sasa mtu ni mnoma. But we can go through a couple of them alafu we can come back to this. We most probably won't have to go through all the 80 of them. Let me maximize this. Yeah.
Tumejintroduce ama tunasema watu wanatujua.
Watu wanatujua cinema star. Watu wanatujua cinema star. Wana watu hadi wako hapa wana watch.
Okay.
Thank you actually for everybody who is commenting. Asanteni sana. So we'll just go through a couple of them. We don't have to go through zote and then maybe nikiona an interesting one there's I would love to know the story behind it. I'm gonna ask a question. You guys can also ask questions. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. If you also see a picture maybe that you feel will have a story behind it, you can also mention it. I believe this one was the and femicide protest. So it was the first one that was huge. Was it
the first one? Yes, this was the first one. So Sophie and I, like last year was the very first time we were both shooting protests, yeah? You didn't even shoot femicide.
I didn't even shoot. I don't even shoot femicide. So your first one was... job. The first one was like the OG protest.
Yeah, so Mimi, this was the very first time going to the streets to shoot protests. And what made me take this photo is, I know Acheng. This is Acheng 13 for anyone who knows her. She's an amazing musician, vocalist. And what made me take this photo is the fact that she had her kid there. As in, you're fighting, this fight is for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for everyone, it's just not for the old people and not for the rich people, it's for everyone. Because we are fighting for a better environment for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the baby to grow up in. I just like the concept of you're not coming to the streets by yourself. Unabeba familia yako, just to know that, like the Bonnie thing.
Yeah.
You're fighting for your kids.
For your kids. That's true. That's true.
And Bonnie has been going to the streets with his kids since they were kids.
Yeah, since kitambo. Bonnie has to be the one person who has been fighting for this country for years. You remember time hata ya Kibaki when he organized, there's a time he organized protest in Kibaki and he was the only one who shouted. Well, I think they were in Kasarani Stadium or something. And he was the only one who was pulled out. There's a time Bonnie took pigs to parliament. Have you ever seen that? Bro, there's a time...
Your time's gonna do politics.
There's a time... Bro, Bonnie is a legend, man. There's a time Bonnie, like actual pigs. So he like wrote M pigs. Because like the politician... Because like the MPs your time were just eating money. Bro, they had like a like... Probably like 10 or 20 pigs. And he took them to parliament. Literally.
Yeah, that is so dope.
Yeah, bro, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And then they had painted them blood or comments paka damu, like it was red. It was, I don't know if I can find it. I show you. It was so interesting. Let me see if I can find it.
Bonnie, soda type Bonnie pigs.
Bonnie face Mwangi pigs protest. It should be there. People took so many pictures.
What?
Let me see if I can find the highest one.
Bonnie is legend.
Let me open a few and show. I don't want to save it. But I don't know if you guys can see this. This was when he got arrested. Wait, this one looks recent though. No. Inakaya kitambo. But ndo easy. You see all these pigs? Like they took all these pigs to parliament.
Kumbe kitu ya MPigs si ya juzi.
MPigs imekuwa hapo for some time.
Oh my god, this is so crazy.
Chero anasema hii comment section ina mbamba. Komu siku zombo. But then you know, normal, such a pleasure knowing you all. Have you ever met Braxton?
Yeah.
You have?
Have we met? Tunajuana though.
We actually also met for the first time to protest. Pale mali tulipatana na wewe pia. Hapo GPO. We met at GPO for the... Yeah, it was GPO. Unakumbuka? Ama Aldis ndio kwa GPO. Unaona hapo kando ya GPO mahali the second last protest before parliament day mali walikuwa wameka zile water cannon hapo Cardinal Otunga. That's the first time we ever met. Although hatukuongea for long cause kulikuwa na tear gas. Tulikuwa mimi Future and then ukatusalimia.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That's the first time we ever met. Same for Kigan also. We also met with Kigan time ya maandamano. First time we ever met. Kigan tulipatana sasa pale chini pale mahali Tomboya, mahali Moi Avenue na kujoin na Kenyatta Avenue. That's where we met with Kigan, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Braxton kwanza hiyo time nakumbuka. I remember, I swear I was even telling Future how Braxton alikama akatusalimia alafu akaenda kushoot mahali wasewa naenda kupigwa. I'm like, this guy does not fear anything. It was
you
so
feel
interesting.
Anyway.
Unajua ilikuwa maandamano yetu ya kwanza. Alafu hizo za what's crazy? Sisi we had gone to the first maandamanos, like the first one ever. Na tulifikanga tu hivi. I remember Future alishikwa. The two guys I had gone with, although he alihepa. One of my friends alishikwa. Future alishikwa but he managed to fight off, akatoka hadi nguo yake iliraruka, alikuwa hadi na scars kwa mkono. I'll show you those pictures, I have them here. So maandamano was such a traumatizing thing for us from like day one. Na bado tu tuliendelea tu kushoot. So I remember that time.
That is 18th of June, right?
That was the first one?
Yeah,
that is 18th of June.
Na hiyo ndio day kulikuwa na tear gas proper because hakuwa na watu wengi.
Hakuwa na watu wengi. Tuliflexiwa na hao makarao.
Mimi na Immaculate tulikulwa na nini?
From your day one.
Tear gas. Alafu tukapata place. Tulipata place. Like it was so bad.
Yeah.
And then that time I didn't have a strap. I didn't have a camera strap.
So umeshikana na mkono.
Tulienda place fulani nikapata mtu akona spray bottle. Akasema nipeni kamera niwashikie.
Wow.
Akatu spray kwa so like it was just a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
And that is not something we were very used to.
Maandamano za kwanza was crazy.
I know.
Was very crazy. So hapo ndo you meet most of the people tonight.
Interesting.
Braxton, we are going to play Braxton videos. The maandamano video before tumaliza stream like you see. Braxton also how you captured it, and I remember watching that video afterwards and I was like, I cannot even believe it. It was so emotional, it was so well shot, well captured. You had very, very diverse and interesting shots.
Yani mnoma
kwa hapa wanafanya modest. But yeah, in the history ya MPs, this is your MPs.
That is so crazy. I didn't watch Softy though. Nimeona mtu akisema I think Mishai watched Softy.
Yeah, I've also watched Softy. Softy is that one documentary unaweza watch ulie.
But yeah, crazy.
Yeah, Softy was crazy. So he day alishikwa, I think he was also shot with a tear gas on close range. It was
being an activist is a lot of
he had gone through so much time. So tuendelea kupitia hizi, let me see how I can open multiple. Anyway, it's pretty. And then sasa tuna brush through tukizipitia.
Okay.
Keegan, how have you been lakini since maandamano? Hatukupatana hii maandamano this time.
Nilikuwa na Keegan like 3 weeks ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Keegan alikuwa hii maandamano mlipatana?
No, not maandamano. Yeah, tulipatana naye huko kwa kuwatch horses. Ushaijua kuna place.
Nairobi Polo.
Hata sina. No, si Polo. Sijui inaitwaje?
Ati ya kuwatch horses?
Yeah, like horse racing.
Si Polo?
No, there's another one, not Polo.
Rescos?
Yeah.
Mlikuwa na Rescos kuwatch horses?
Mimi nilikuwa nimeenda job. But huko kuna bodies. Oh my god, I was just like, huko ni wapi?
Mnakuwa na form za kiutajiri zinashanga nini hizo watu walikuwa wameenda kufanya?
Wow.
Some rich people form. That day we saw bad things. James, the Ganio day 18th. Kama ni the 18th was crazy. Anybody who was there on the 18th maandamano knows how crazy it was. Alafu watu walishikwa wengi. I think watu walishikwa kaso 2 hiyo day. Hata besho tunaenda kumtoa Central kasa 5 usiku. You got traumatized for a minute, pole sana. Yeah, I can imagine, man. Last year was crazy. Last year was very crazy. We need to talk about protecting ourselves during demos, manze. Tumekuwa targets. Niliona one thing that was really scary about hizi maandamano za juzi was how even the press was getting attacked by police. I don't know. It was so risky, especially for us since tuko na equipment which is so expensive. Alafu according to like human rights laws, press na madaktari hawafai kuwa attacked. And you know what's crazy? I'll show you guys a picture. There's a time tulienda kwa tent. I told you. There's a time tulienda kwa tent there's a tent pale Jamia. Yeah, there's a medical tent pale Jamia Mosque. Anybody who was in maandamano knows it. Hapo Jamia Mosque na Jamia Mall, Malio Total ukua. The medics always set up there. So Red Cross, St. John's and I think like other private companies. There's a time water cannon ya makarao ilikam na ikarusha tear gas hapo ndani. It was like we could not believe it. It was so crazy. I stood for a minute to just look at what those cops were doing and it was so crazy. A whole water cannon ina spray hiyo maji na kuna tent iko full of sick people.
That is so inhuman.
I don't know. But Braxton, I feel maybe like for future protests, I think as press guys working together as a group should now
That always
yeah,
works.
That should be like the safest thing. If possible, hata wasewana. If mnashikana hata like 10 or 15 people.
Unasema the recent one. There's another one after the 25th. There were other protests.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, you went for those ones?
Yeah.
What?
We the press guys were like targeted even more. Like it was bad. I usually shoot on a 35 mm.
So you have to get very close.
Yes, it was bad. Walikuwa natuambia, mbona unakaribia? Si ukae huko zoom. I'm like, bro, wewe unafanya kazi yako, mimi nafanya kazi yangu. Unajua hata hii kitu hatawezi zoom. What are you trying to tell me? Yeah, so like I don't know how we can safeguard ourselves, but of course, like one thing that has always worked out for me is kutembea na genge. Because you will not allow mtu harasiwe. Your boy harasiwe na uko hapo.
That's true. That's always the safest.
Because I remember your time when we were being harassed, we were around Upper Nation Media, and what were they trying to do with Goofy and Adagala, and guys shouted like it was a whole thing. And now guys are like, we are recording, you endeleeni kufanya hivyo, tunawacheki.
Wakaacha. It's crazy how police wanafanyanga tu some brutal things regardless of. Na niliona hata siku hizi hata wakirekodiwa hata hawajali. Kama the cop who shot the mask vendor. Like there was a whole media team hapo na alikuwa anatoa sawa hapo and he just proceeds to shoot him.
I'd really wanted to know what was running in his head because there were so many people with cameras on there.
Yeah, cause like I don't know, man. For you to shoot someone in the head when there are so many people looking at you at close range, I don't know. It's so crazy. It's such a crazy thing to do. Do you think with branding tutakuwa easy targets?
With or without branding, for as long as you have a camera or a phone, they're gonna come after you. So I feel like branding is always, it feels safer because one can recognize you from far. Like in the case of this guy, okay, no, here I relate. But ulicheki huyo jamaa mwenye alioshwa na anaitwa Don Wilson.
Na utakano? Don't think niliona.
Bro, alikuwa na fly yuko na kamera kwa mkono.
Oh, ile maandamano ya last year? Yeah, juzi?
Yeah.
I didn't see. Oh, they didn't care that much? Was he branded?
No.
Sad.
Yeah. I usually feel like the minute you come shooting at me and I'm branded, that is very intentional.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather be safe. I'd rather be branded than not be branded and be like everyone else.
Yeah, I feel like being branded, I wouldn't say utakuwa easy targets, but
ni situation ya better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. Even for, I'd say, quote unquote, more sensible cops, wakiona wewe ni msewa press, most of them rarely ever ask you anything. So they just let you do whatever you're doing, and they even allow you to go behind police cover if in case of anything. But if you don't have branding and you start running at police, ataka uko na camera, they hawataelewa. So I feel like branding is definitely very, very important.
Yeah. Tuko na picha nyingi.
Tuko na picha mob. Tunaweza zipitia tuone.
For this second one, it's honestly, I think I term myself as a documentary photographer and a photojournalist. And that comes with so many imperfections. Kwanza with such nini. Honestly, huyu mmoja ako overexposed, alafu but bado message na nini inafika. The fact that this street family decided kutokea kusema they're together against femicide, whether they believe what that is or not, ilikuwa poa.
Yeah, it shows a lot of unity as a country.
Yeah.
Being a woman
is enough. Yeah, it's crazy that we had to go through that.
Yeah, I also love how also men came out.
I also love that. I didn't expect that. I'm sorry, I didn't expect that, but the men were there. The men really came out. Cheki Cheru kunyuma.
Cheru hapo always. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it, to see how the men came out to stand for their women.
Yeah.
This was a night?
This was the Dark Valentines. So what we were just from seeing is the very first mandamano for the femicides. Then nothing really happened. Then there was a Dark Valentines during Valentine Day.
On like the 14th?
Yes, on the 14th.
Okay.
So this was just like a vigil for all those that had we had lost to femicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like a really nice thing to see people come together to celebrate life, even in such situations.
What do you think is the? Do you feel like as a country or as a community, are we fully educated on the whole femicide thingy?
No, we are not, because did you see the guy Juicy on Twitter? That makes me just cringe. Saying a guy who tweeted and said, "Nimepata kamoja na nime."
Yeah, I saw that. It was so sad. It was so sad. That's actually such a bizarre thing to say in public.
How in your right senses to even say that?
Yeah, it's not something you should. There are things you can never be proud of at all.
Hey.
Yeah, that was like.
That's just crazy, and I don't know how this can change like 100%, because people still excuse rape for she had a short dress. They excuse rape for Aisha alikomelewa na kaitikia.
Jumta kamelewa kuna consent.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very I'm not sure whether it's a thin line, but peer education ni kitu muhimu. Mimi sijui kama ni education because bado watu educated wanapanga vitu za ufara.
That's true. I feel like inafaa kuwa the agenda should be pushed more and very heavily. Unaona kama venye I don't know, I might be wrong. Kama like as us growing up kulikuwa na so many heavy campaigns kama za AIDS and all that, and people used to be educated. So walikuwa coming hadi shule.
Mulikuwa mna nini zile picha za ni nani?
Manze.
Very graphic photos.
Yeah, very very graphic photos, so they know, and we used to be shown from a very young age. Hata unapata watu wa primary kuna like foundation za AIDS zinaenda ku-educate watu primary, high school, campus, all the way to when people become adults. So I feel like
the campaign should be
the campaign should be there. It should not isikuwa ati maybe kuna two protests alafu ina die down. It should be something that and I'm so happy that niliona hata kuna pages where there's kuna page ya femicide wana update in case anything happens, ama in case kuna protest, ama in case kuna any case happen. Yeah, and usikimie. It's such a good initiative. So I feel like if the more we push it, the more we educate us
and the community.
Yeah, and the community in general.
At times nakwanga nikiangalia hizo cases za usikimia, I'm like,
manze zinakwanga some brutal cases. Sometimes you even wonder how someone will do
like a 42-year-old with a 7-month-old.
Yeah.
Oh,
zinakwanga extremely crazy. So I feel like this march was was so much needed.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like 1 year, like a couple of months later, we had to go back to the streets for the same reason. And I think the next photo is now December. And look at buddies. Like buddies just want to be buddies, but in Nabidi, we are coming here to fight for. And I just love the presence of men in such mandamanos, because it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah.
Not everyone is against you. These are guys kwa matatu na bado wanaona mna match and they're like, we are still fighting with you. Sisi tukomboka bado, lakini
we still support.
We're still supporting your mission.
It's always, I love how Kenyans, when it comes to like coming together, that's one thing that Kenyans
I
are
have seen
so good at.
Kenyanese work.
Yeah, Kenyans come together and support each other so much.
Yeah.
So much. It's such a, we have such a loving community.
Yeah, imeandikwa, if you're personally not killing women, why do you feel the need to defend those who are?
Yeah.
And that's facts.
Yeah, the fact that you're not doing it actively doesn't mean how you should defend those who do it.
Yeah. Man, hey, this babe, I can't remember her name, but hey, I love guts though. Madam kama hawa, ooh.
Wale hawajali anything
It's
at
just like,
all. Yeah.
And that was, by the way, at the cops.
Oh really?
Yeah, this was at the cops. Like she was showing the finger to the cops.
Yeah, but this day nobody was tear gassed or anything.
Aye.
The first one, I thought people got. Oh, this is the second one.
This is the second one.
Yeah, the second one.
But even the first one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No way.
The first one, there were kulikuwa na nini? Kulikuwa na.
Yeah, kwanza I don't think nilionanga tear gas. I think nilisikia kwa the second one. But still, like, why will cops tear gas women who are marching for a femicide march?
That's a thing. Still like violence. Still like some sort of violence.
We have such a brutal police force. So this is protest now?
This is protest. This is 25th. So my story of 25th is like, unlike the other days where ninatoka na picha tuseme 500 to 1000, I think I left with 50 photos max.
Oh really? On 25th?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Kwa sababu hapa ni GPO. This was right before, this was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And this was just before guys now moved to parliament.
Oh, ulikuwa hiyo side ya ndani? When people started marching to parliament, where were you?
I think I was here. I don't know. But okay, so I didn't make it to parliament because before I got here, I had been cornered by some cops, and I think in stress here, all that nikapata muscle pull kwa thighs. So I was limping. Nilijua nikienda hivyo sitaweza kukimbia because I was struggling. I was really struggling. So yeah, sasa hapa, you know, as a journalist, you feel safer being on the cop side, but now we're on the cop side, and I think ukiendelea utaona mawe. So walikuwa narusha mawe. They overpowered the cops. Oh no.
Oh, it's mix.
It's mix. They are not in chronological order.
Is there a way we can see?
I'm not sure there's a way because I didn't sort them.
Okay.
I think tunaweza ruka tu. Like we can just
tutazifikia.
This was 25th again. Sasa unakumbuka ile picha nyingine walikuwa huko nyuma, sasa wamekuja mbele.
Hapa ni literally kando ya.
Hii ni GPO.
Yes. Hii stuff. This thing was actually removed.
Oh yeah.
Wase walingoa hii stuff. If you go to town today, enda uangalie hii stuff icon ilikuwa imezunguka hii sculpture yote all.
Yeah, squeeze inakwanga tu hivi.
Inakwanga tu plain. Wase walingoa na enjoy tradition. Yeah, but I remember this crowd was crazy.
Mimi was just like, guy, tulifika huku aje?
Saa ngapi?
How are we like this? And then I was like, watu wanatoa mawe wapi? Because the stones were many.
Yeah, I actually also get surprised. Oh no, I saw to my stuff as cover.
Guy. Oh, ndio hiyo picha.
Yeah. The next one?
Yes, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you're on the side of the cops, na mna receive hizi mawe zote.
Yeah.
Wao wenyewe wanatoroka. And then you see most of them have like those shields.
Those shields.
Wewe saiza uko hapo na kamera yako, na kamera yako ndio inaweza kula hiyo jiwe.
When the stones come flying in, you know you're cooked. You know you're cooked extremely.
Yeah.
Me, I remember a time when people... Umesema hauna mapicha za around parliament?
No. But I have on our way to parliament. So nilitoka hapa, my legs couldn't anymore. Nikazunguka na GPO the other side. Tukadecide kufika kwa ile roundabout, hiyo ya GPO. Then ukishuka not there. You're gonna see fire somewhere. Sasa hivi ndio tulipata wase. Watu wako huko tu wana chill. Huyo msee anauza mahindi or something. He's just there like roasting his stuff. Yeah.
Casual. This is so crazy. You know, it's so interesting for me because when parliament was happening, sisi tulikuwa like literally where parliament is. So we never got a perspective of what was happening ndani kwa wase.
Now this is guys on their way to parliament.
This is so interesting. I have never seen this side of this day's story.
Yeah.
This is so interesting.
Alikuwa tu ameketi hapo. Ebu say this the next photo. He's just chilling. He is just chilling. All these are people sijui from where.
This is
headed
so
to parliament.
Gangster.
This is a highway.
Yeah, this is so gangster.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Sawa.
So
wasa wakisaidiana ku
hapa ndio nasema nilicheki Kenyans. So like the second day of protest, that is after 18th, the next one. Okay, one thing I do, given the fact that I am not what? Oh, watu wako chini.
See how chakuna vile inaongeza but iko full. Immaculate ni audio yetu sisi wote ama ya mse mmoja. What about having specific guys in your cliques who are lookouts, who are shoot on that day? Okay, that's okay.
That would also.
Yeah, that would also be a really good idea. But venye najua watu wa production kila mtu unapatanga anataka kushoot hiyo day.
Mimi what I do, I mostly walk around with people who are doing videos. So me, I'll take my 1-2 photos, then have eyes on them. Yes.
Okay. Because video requires more
time for you to edit.
Yeah, video is more. James, nilikuwa nataka kujua ni kama ni audio yetu sisi wote wawili, because me I know my mic is a bit far, so najua mic yangu inaweza kuwa high speaker. But I don't know if Victoria's audio is okay.
Can you hear me, guys? So yenyu wote.
Let's see. For some reason once the stream starts,
Unaanza kumisbehave.
You can't really adjust audio settings. Okay, let me see. I think is at max. Let me see. Audio is good on your side. Both are okay on my end. I think maybe basi ni kuna watu wenye kwao iko sawa, kuna watu wenye haiko sawa, I don't know. Mike is saying
Both are okay on my end.
Remo's mic is also good. Tuendelee. Good thing the good thing about this stream is it always remains on YouTube, so I'll try see if on the editing studio ya YouTube if there's a volume kiasi, and then if anybody needs to rewatch anything, you can always come back and rewatch something afterwards.
So I was saying the fact that I'm not I don't shoot for any media house or agency. Yeah. I try to look at different perspectives because being a freelance and again not shooting for anyone in particular, I know kuna zile picha kila mtu atakuwa nazo.
Ni kweli.
So I try to look for a different perspective. It is not always the most eye-capturing, like, you know. Yeah. It's not what everyone will talk about, but I'm just like, I need to show a different perspective because I'm not sure not many people will capture.
Yeah.
But my God, hii siku niliona wasee wakirushiwa maji kutoka Java. Kulikuwa na maji tu like in different spots unaenda unaoshoa tu uso haraka people move on like that is unity. These guys might not be there with you on the streets but they're really helping you be on the streets.
The Java thing kwanza was so interesting.
Yeah.
Seeing the fact that walirushia wase hiyo maji for free. Let me see. Yeah, unaona hata wase kusaidia.
Yeah, this is Lucky. He's a photographer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's
nice.
a photographer. You must have seen his photo akibeba. This is a blind mama and
I saw that picture.
Yeah. So hapa tear gas ilikuwa imemgonga na pia I think ilikuwa na irritate so ndo maana.
Yeah. Because tear gas affects on your nostrils.
Yeah.
Mimi nakumbuka my first ever experience with tear gas. Nilikaa hadi chini kwa floor. I think I even have that video somewhere in my highlights. I could not run anymore. Juu nilikuwa nimekimbia nikihepa makarao, nilikaa hapo Nation Center, nilikaa katikati ya gari mbili for like a whole 10 minutes kwanza ishe.
I know.
It was so crazy.
Then this is also like Kenyanese guys helping the injured and the hurt. Hata sijui alikuwa ameumia wapi. Sijui kama inakwanga hiyo side nyingine.
Hapa ni hapo Jamia. I think walikuwa wanampeleka kwa hiyo.
Look at how young this boy is.
Kwanza ni mdogo. Ni mdogo sana. Hata huyu ni mdogo.
Yeah.
Wanaka high schoolers actually.
Yeah,
but it's so interesting.
This is from the recent
one.
Yeah.
Memorial. I've always wanted to ask about
what was
this
meant to be a memorial. This one. What do you want to ask?
I don't know, it's just interesting. Udem alikuwa anapishwa staff kweli?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, alikuwa na try.
Okay. Ndio kublock makarao wasikam.
Hapana. What was happening here? I think ni hiyo agitation. The fact that for me this shows how crazy, like how mad, how tired people are. Because for you to have the guts to do this or even think about doing this.
Yeah.
And as you can see on the background, guys are running away. Because,
oh really?
Yes.
Makarao alikuwa nakam?
Makarao alikuwa nakuja, tear gas ilikuwa imerushwa.
Yeah.
She was there. She was like,
kusukuma.
Venye alishinda kuimovisha, hata yeye akatoka akakimbia akaenda.
Interesting.
But according to me, I was just like, that is how frustrated we are as a people.
Yeah, true. Victoria is such a good storyteller. She is. I was telling her, before we started this stream, she was asking me why I decided to do this live with her as the first guest. And I was telling her, I even used to share her pictures with my friends. And I was like, this is so bold. Now it makes sense when you tell me you used to shoot on a 35. Because I know how close you have to be with a 35. I won't lie. Me process out and I'm 70 to 200. Those who don't know production 700 is the long white lens.
You can zoom in.
Yeah, you have to stay very far ndio upige mapicha. I used to go with that because I was so afraid of getting close. Me nilikuwa tu naona tu tear gas ama naona polisi. I'm like, no. But her pictures were so full of character, so full of emotion. I was like, I would really love to hear her perspective on what goes through her mind when she takes these pictures. It's so interesting. It's extremely interesting. She's an amazing storyteller.
Thank you, guys.
I also love this picture so much.
Interesting.
Now, when I tell you how up close she is, she's literally in between. Me, tukiamana maana ni crowd ya wase wengi hivi.
Hawezi kuwa.
Siwezi ingia hapo ndani. Juu crowd inakuanga and then people are chanting for like 10 minutes and then unajua tu hao ndio target. Makarao akikam ni hao wanakujia. So I'm like, if anything happens, I don't know where I will go.
So you see hapa this crowd hapa nyuma? Hapo ni mwizi fulani alikuwa anachapwa.
Walai.
Na alichapwa.
Wase tu wakiangalia.
Watu wakitaka kumaliza, but then there was that one person who's like, hapana guys, mwacheni.
Walai. Na akaachwa?
Akaachwa. Nivyo tu sikukuwekea hiyo picha hapa. But akaachwa. But then this guy was like, oneni kitu wanatupigana, oneni. And I was like, okay. But yes, but I also tried to avoid to be in the middle of that.
Yeah, for long.
Yes, for long, because hapa in case of anything wanakuja wananikanyaga, watanitembelea wanze. I try to avoid a situation where I'll find myself in a stampede. This was 25th.
This one?
Yeah. You see, well, bad though that thing was there. Hey, 25th was crazy.
Yeah, 25th was mad.
watu walikuwa
It
na
was
like
mad.
you had your vehicle in town for this.
Yeah. 25th was mad. This guy looks like he's been shot on the chest.
Yes, he had been shot.
Oh, really?
He had been shot a week before.
Wow.
And
wow.
this was like a week later. Now this is after the main maandamanos. This is after 25th. Tulipatana naye akaniambia cheki, walinishot na hii, ndio hii.
Ali pick up.
As in police brutality, like the extent, and you see he was back to the streets, like still fighting for his country.
This is so interesting because this is the thing we're saying. Kenyans are so like Wakenya wakiamua wana turn up, they always turn up regardless. Like imagine getting shot on the previous protest and coming back to the next one. I know so many people who wouldn't go for the next protest if they ever got shot. Me personally, if I get shot kwa protest moja sidhani kama naweza rudi.
I know, but he was there, he was so full, like he was so courageous.
Interesting. This is
hata mimi ningeshutiwa singe. Hii ni like hapa kwa bu.
Biggest sellout in the history of Gen Z agendas.
Because this time we thought this guy, was
Manze,
for us, was for the mission.
It was so sad. I even have a very cool picture of him. I even have a very famous picture of him nilimpiganga. He used it a lot. I'll show you guys that picture. Picture ameangalia kando anakaa James Bond amevaa shades of black. Lakini sasa inafuata niende ni delete.
Kasaliti.
I've always wanted to ask about this picture.
So this photo again, it's after the 25th.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like so much was still happening after the 25th.
I can see. Is this our watercannon here?
It is.
What?
So this guy, I didn't get to catch his name or what had happened, but I know he had been shot, and they were rushing him to hospital. And what stood out for me is the fact that he was still so courageous. Like apart from kuno hivyo nione, it was like a feast of we're still going on.
Yeah, we're not giving up anytime soon.
Ali slow down akasema oneni wamenishoot hapa, and there were a couple of rubber bullets. Si moja. Ukiangalia hapa these are rubber bullets. There were a couple, not one.
Yeah, because this looks like this is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot. I actually never knew rubber bullets do this much damage.
Mimi hata sikuwa najua difference ya rubber bullets sijui na nini.
I also think rubber bullets zinakugonga tu alafu story inaisha. Kumbe like they can actually damage you this much.
Yeah, because when you look at it, these are two marks of rubber bullets.
Which I was shot so many times.
Yes, but also now in my head I was just like, for you to be shot so many times, kwani they must have targeted you.
Yeah.
Because these are like 4.
Yeah, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually.
I'm not sure whether this is one or just a clot.
I think it might be more than 4. Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. Any after stories za nini?
The femicide.
This still yes, maandamano. You remember that time they brought up sijui ati or they like red panties.
Nakumbuka. Yeah, I remember.
Ile story ya Mkuru. And also this guy had been shot up kwa forehead. Man, watu wako.
It's crazy how much dedication people have.
The restaurant name.
A very courageous girl mpikia chai. Chai nilishamuandalia ya masala, ana feel fit mbaya.
Yes.
The restaurant name nilijaribu kuambia huyo ni traitor. Which restaurant?
Hata mimi nataka restaurant gani? Hebu mtu ambie ni gani hiyo? Na mbona mkutuambia mapema? Lakini hiyo ni best yake.
Hii picha pia nimetakanga sana kuuliza. Hii ni ya juzi, si ndio?
Hii ni ya hiyo siku ya Boniface kushutiwa.
Yeah.
So actually hii tiaga siko hapa nyuma ni ya kudisperse watu from hapo kwenye Boniface alikuwa ameshutiwa.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Hapa ni Menti by the way.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because he was shot over here.
Yes, around hapo. He was shot hapa nyuma.
So akarusha tear gas kutoa wasee hapo.
Which is crazy. Like people are just mourning because people started saying wanaua, wameua. And kawaida karao.
Lazima tu sijaelewa how I don't know, it's crazy.
Then this babe, she just, I don't know what, Oprah has a video of her.
Oh really?
But now whatever she was saying is ni kama alikuwa anaongea gibberish. Vitu alikuwa anasema hazikuwa zinanimekia sense. I don't know what she was saying, but it's funny that there's always that one person. Hata hapa juu umecheki dem fulani. Ameshikilia Bible anapita huyu. There's always this. Yes. There's always a religious perspective coming in.
Oh wait, I think sijui kanishaona video madam alikuwa mahali msaki muuliza nini anafanya alafu anaanza kusema vitu hazieleweki. Huyu.
Yes, probably.
I've seen that video. I think I've seen
I also saw a video of her.
Interesting.
Crazy.
Let me see. Kasmuel. Ile yenye nilimpiga ama hii hapa? Wasebu mwa hizi signboards.
Ilikuwa juzi. Before the 20th. Is it before the 25th? No, this was, I don't know which was.
Niliona kwanza Morara akisema ati hawatarepea hizi vitu. Tungoje budget ni sijui mwaka gani itoke ndio warepea tao.
Acha wao watoke kwanza. That is Boniface Mwangi.
Well, after he was shot.
Yes.
I'm actually so surprised that you were there. I'm actually so surprised.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is Boniface as he was being rushed.
Because this was such a chaotic day, I can imagine. Because zile tulikuwa tunaona kwa news.
Nyinyi mlikuwa huko mkiangalia kwa news. It was a chaotic day. It was a really chaotic day.
Maandamano zenye wasema kwangi wengi zinakuanga.
Kwanza hizo zenye zikuange overhyped because you see like kama as last time hakukuwa na as much activities happening, but the fact that when there are less people, hapo ndio kunakuanga na running around mob, watu kuumizwa.
Yeah, it's easier for the police to even catch up to you.
So easy.
Yeah. Let me see. Isn't it?
This is 25th also like
randoms of
and it's just scary to even read those and be like enyewe I could be next.
Niliona hii picha ni kwa this guy umse ana
he was scared.
Yeah.
This is them running now towards where Boniface had been taken.
Okay.
And why I took that photo was the fact that the Red Cross, but they're also scared. They're going to save a life, but they were scared. Nasikianga walifika hapo wakafurushwa, wakatia gasi ikarushwa, ikabidi wametoka, so hawakuchukua Boniface.
Wow. Alibaki hapo. Walikapeleka ile hosi na kwanga pale.
Yeah.
Crazy. This is the first time I've seen like a Red Cross guy akiwa ameshtuka ndani ya.
They were so scared. Like you could tell like even how they were moving because sasa Karao, I feel like Karao, nilikuwa nimeambiwa before that dirisha yao moja ilikuwa imevunjwa.
Walai.
Sijui ni kama I think ilikuwa na tear gas.
Ikagonga ikapasua kioo. Yeah.
So you can imagine like they are also not safe.
Alafu unatumwa ati urudi nje tena ukachukua mtu. Yeah. It's crazy.
Alafu hii ni for the elite.
I saw this and I was like, this is so smart.
That is for the elite.
This is
if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it,
extremely smart.
Mimi, to be very honest, when nilipiga picha sikuwa na get, I was like, acha nipige picha nitaload baadaye.
Nikae nifikirie nini.
Later I was like, sky road.
Mike, I hope umeelewa hii ni nini. I hope umeelewa. I hope hii message ilikufikia ukiwa mahali.
Courage wase ni crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Na kuna vile napenda. Then there's this.
Bro, middle finger to the police at close range is crazy. It's crazy.
Hata sijui nini walikuwa naambiana. I think walikuwa na try kumvuruga na yeye hakuwa anataka kuvurugika.
This is mad. Now me huona wase wengi sana kufanya hii stuff to the police. Like people are actually so furious at the police time ya protest.
Time ya protest, because that is when you're able to like address, to express yourself better.
That's true.
This is the Mashujaa concert.
Tulipatana?
Sijui.
No, I don't think tulipatana.
Kulikuwa na watu wengi sana.
Kulikuwa na watu wengi. It was, I'm actually surprised at how many people walienda.
Yeah.
Hii picha pia nilikuwa nikuuliza. I saw it and I was like, it's so crazy that in the middle of protest, in the middle of tear gas, casually, and they're even smiling.
Yeah. Wako tu uko wanachapa. I don't know, like that is actually the thing that made me take this photo, because I was like, in the middle of all that chaos. Yeah. Wow. Wao walikuwa na move vizuri.
Wako tu sawa.
They are in their own zone. Yeah. And this is around past archives, because this is Pizza Inn.
Yeah. This is so interesting. Mzazi wangu arudishiwe school fees. Hii ilikupita hiyo. Klasi ya hesabu ni kama mwalimu akufunza hiyo. Itabidi apigwe refund.
Yeah, so there was this, and there's also another like street child nilipatana naye. Hata yeye alikuwa tu vibes.
Yeah, I saw it and it was so lively, seeing people in between protests.
And what makes it even crazier is the background ya Moshi.
Yeah, like wametoka kupita tear gas hapa literally. Alafu they're just casually smiling and passing.
Yeah.
This was the Shujaa concert.
Oh, this was...
Yeah, people turned up like
people
crazy.
Turned up.
See everybody with flags.
I have never seen so many flags in one place.
Yeah. Hii day hata hakukuwa na chaos yoyote.
Hakukuwa na chaos, and unlike all the other protest days, upper guys were smiling, guys were happy. You know, like it was such a united time for everyone.
Home so peacefully. Nobody got arrested or anything.
And I mean, this was so many people.
Yeah, it was so many people. I even like how artists also came out to perform for free.
Yeah.
It was such an interesting day. I love this picture so much.
Let's go back to this one kidogo. This is Boniface Karaoke's blood.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Or the flag yenye walikuwa wamefunikia?
Yeah. So this is guys coming from Bliss. And I think the expressions on their face.
Yeah.
Just.
Oh yeah, because Bliss is always down here. Oh, that's very, very sad. That's very sad.
Yeah, and to just hear that he lost his life, like they confirmed his lost journal.
I saw a tweet, someone saying that Boniface most probably passed on very early.
Yes.
But like for damage control, because they know people will have been so furious because of the protest. So they must probably put him on life support just to like kind of like make people forget. Yeah, so I don't know. But you can never know the real truth with this government. People lie so much.
Unfortunately, and you know the minute the family have been told to coordinate with the story. So that guy has a t-shirt of the people.
Majina zao zote. All the fallen soldiers. Yeah, it was like, so interesting to see. Unaona
mpaka za watu wa Eldoret, KNH, Mochari.
Fallen but not forgotten. It's crazy. Imagine people die literally for the sake of
our freedom, just for a better country.
Yeah, it's very, very crazy.
Alafu the goons are not dying. None of them has been reported dead.
Hata mmoja.
None of them.
It's crazy. And you know, it's crazy because nilikuwa na memes before hizi maandamano za juzi watu wakisema ati kuna mtu kesho atadedi na hatujui ni nani.
Yep.
It looks so funny, but it's actually so true because it was kind of like we are so traumatized, we just use humor to like cool ourselves down, but like it's so crazy that anytime any of us goes to protest, it might be your last time you're outside.
You may think your Boniface ndio hata ilikuwa that was it for me, because like this guy was just selling a mask. Literally that could be any of us. It could have been me. Maybe angeniona na camera alafu I get too agitated. It could have been any of us.
Yeah, because that cop was so mad. Could have been whoever was close to him would have suffered.
Yeah, that is last year.
This one.
I remember last year wa mad.
Yeah, people were.
Ini after ile place tulikuwa hapo nyuma kulikuwa na ile jam session akina MC Gogo, Grouchy.
Yeah. And also kupatiana flowers for free.
Yes, this was On the 20 what? I don't know, but ni Boniface Kariuki alikuwa Boniface Mwangi, the activist, alikuwa dish out nini flowers for people
to wapatiwe. I wanted to show you let me see if I have them. Reject. Where is it? Let me show you. Ilikuwa date gani hii? Ni 21st June. I wanted to show you my perspective. Yeah, hiyo time wase wakienda
Parliament.
Uone how mimi na wewe had a totally different.
We were on different sides of town.
Different perspective. So hapa na I think this was the second last maandamano wakiarrest wase.
I remember this photo.
Hapa nakumbuka tulikuwa Uhuru Highway. This was so
chaotic.
It was so chaotic. I have a certain picture. Let me see if I can find it here. It was time fulani wase walianza kutupia makarao mawe tukiwa hapo.
Mimi courage wase ndo nashanganga. Like even the guys who simama mbele ya water cannons.
Hiyo nayo inakuanga some insane courage.
Like that.
Insane. I can't remember where that picture was. But which ndaipata nakushow.
Ni ile kopali alichapa na mawe ama?
I think aligongwa na mawe ama ilikuwa water cannon. I think ilikuwa water cannon. I can't remember.
Yeah, we were on different sides.
Yeah, like my perspective was totally, because I remember that picture I took it, tulianza kukimbia and then nakumbuka this is the Casman picture I'm saying. Let me show you guys.
Kasaliti.
Wase wapendi ujamaa sahi at all.
Why should we?
Anyway, I think iko mahali hapa tuipata tu. But I remember hapa police walikuwa wameka like a whole line.
This 25th?
This is I think 21st. I think that now the last day before parliament.
Chiki venye watu wako dedicated. Huyu ametoa t-shirt.
There's a very famous video of msee akidansa anguka nayo mbele ya makarao ilikuwa hapa. These guys were so dedicated. Nakumbuka hadi hapa unaona hadi people were coming wameinua mikono wakisema sisi hata hatuna ubaya.
Trying to talk with these guys.
And then the police walikuwa wamekabari. This is literally like now where I am standing behind me is literally where parliament is. It's like literally where parliament is. Juu hapa ni ile barabara kupanda juu itangoje Valley Road or something. Isi ni Central Park.
Yeah.
So literally behind us was where parliament is. And then huyu alikuwa I think Karao mwenye alikuwa na
kubwa so alikuwa amekuja. Watu walikuwa wanataka kumuongelesha.
Wase wanaona hadi wanamsmailia wanamwambia sisi hatuna vurugu, sisi tumetulia tu. People were so happy at this time. And then there's some point sasa it got so aggressive wase waka break police line, tear gas zikaanza kurushwa na ziliangushwa zilikuwa mob.
Zilikuwa kama mabomu na
zilikuwa mingi sana. Wase wanarudi tena. Kenyans are so resilient. And then hapa udem alikuwa amepigwa na tear gas. So this lady cop came and akamsaidia pia akamwambia what to do. I think that picture is here. So this is very interesting. So what happened here, there's a whole series of events happening. So hapa ambulance ilipita. Hii ambulance I think hata ilikuwa imegongwa na mawe. So wase wanaishangilia. Next minute people are playing football. Next minute hii basi sijui ilikuwa imetoka wapi. So these guys here, so this is the junction ya pale GPO. Anybody who knows that roundabout. So juu kwenda chini town and then wametoka Uhuru Highway huko. Then there were this police walikuwa wametumwa na komanda wao wasi allow wase wanatoka huko wakamuko chini. Unaona wako kiasi hawako wengi. Bro, the crowd got so aggressive, so they had to call for backup. You see now backup came, tear gas zikarushwa, people didn't care. Look,
because hao wenye walikuwa wametumwa hawana anything.
Hawana anything.
Wako na tu marungu na shield.
Walirusha tear gas, watu sawa wakajam. So ndo unaona mawe sasa. So unaona this is the
so cool.
This is the block where the police were hiding, in like the 2 pictures I've shown you behind, and then sasa people now started throwing stones because these cops had terrorized people so much on that day. So at the same time this is happening, ndo sasa kulikuwa na zile water cannon mbili pale Cardinal Otunga. Walikuwa na hiyo video sasa ikipigwa na maji wakirudi. So it was the same time. So hapa ndio, so mawe zikakam, so we also had to run. This is a friend of mine called Samsonia.
I know Samsonia.
So he was covering his head from the stones. The police are running away. All the press is running away. And then they almost got to parliament. In ile barabara inakuanga hapo kando ya parliament. Almost. This was not the previous day.
Such a cool photo.
Yeah, wakarusha tear gas and then wakawa push back eventually. So this is the damage they left. This is literally next to parliament because parliament is here.
Did you get to parliament?
They almost got.
Did you?
I did.
Oh.
So waliharibu barabara and then wakarudishwa. So this is towards the end, how town was left.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you. I think maybe I can push a bit forward to. So now this is now the D-Day. This is now Parliament Day.
Oh.
I want to show you where Parliament Day was crazy, man. This day there was just everything was just going on at the same time.
Mwaba amejificha nyuma ya
hapa
police.
Braxton, sijui kama Braxton bado ako hapa. This is the first time we met Braxton. This is him nikimpiga picha. Hapa pia ndo tulipatana na wewe.
Oh yeah, I was here.
Yeah, you were here. And then I remember tulisalimiana and there was so much tear gas and then I didn't see you again.
So that time I was actually limping to leave hapo. So tulikuwa na Immaculate.
Tulikuwa na Immaculate on that day. Yeah, this day was crazy. And then so this is now Braxton. You see like how he was following the cops behind. Mali wanena ndio anaenda. That's what I was saying.
This guy's called Musheke or something.
You know him? Yeah. Niliona like Braxton akienda, I was like, mko na balls za kuenda.
Unfortunately, that is ideally where you're supposed to be safer, but
yeah. So I remember hapa, this is just moments before people. I took this picture seeing this videographer with his gear and the water cannon is literally next to him, and then these people look up wameinua mikono. It was so crazy. I think
lakini sasa hata unakuja na gimbal aje.
I think hata hapa kuna kopa ligongwa na nini water cannon.
Manze naona hii napata PTSD because last week nilioshwa.
Wallahi, nakumbuka ukinisho. Hakuna mtu alikupiga picha?
Hata angenipiga hiyo ni kuniharibia nini.
This is the cop I was telling you about. Alikuwa hapo na wao say time water cannon ilianza kurusha maji and akagongwa nayo kwa uso, and the press guys are the ones who helped him, which is very crazy.
We need to have pity for cops.
Man, I'm always on Marky Waters when it comes to that, man, because it's part of you being a human. Ukiona mtu ameumia umsaidie regardless of whether ni polisi.
Yeah.
But pia now when you think about how wanatutesa, no, it's fine. If you think about when wanatutesa, I don't know. This is Braxton.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah. Hey Braxton bana, unafaa next time tabia nimetembea na wewe. So
you need to be walking around with people like those.
So now this is the picture I wanted to tell you.
What?
This was literally before.
This is a tank.
This is a tank. So you know what? Unajua hapa ni kweli roundabout ya parliament. Literally, this is
parliament.
This is Basilica. This is Basilica here. So hii side ni kwenda Kencom, City Hall Kencom. Hii side ya huko nyuma ni kwenda Uhuru Highway, and then sasa to the right is Parliament.
Oh yeah.
To the left is Cardinal Otunga. I remember vividly. We were Future and I. Tulipanda jo hii roundabout. We looked left, right na mbele. Bro, masses. Unaona huku chini bro. Behind this fog there were like thousands of people. And then tukaangalia Cardinal, tukaangalia Uhuru Highway. Everybody was coming all at once.
And you know the minute they merged.
Bro, it was crazy. It was the craziest thing I ever witnessed in my life. Water cannons zilikuwa zimeisha maji, so hawa ni wakiwa parliament wakirefill because of how much people were resilient. Wase wako wanajali. So zikaanza kupushiwa back. Naona hii ndio crowd inatoka Uhuru Highway. So unaona hadi makarao wakaanza kuretreat. Crowd inatoka Uhuru Highway, hapa ni karao alikuwa ameumia, so anaenda kwa medic yao. But like this side was like full. Every side
was it so crazy that these guys don't know how to deal with them?
It was, bro, the people were so many like I don't know if I have a picture here. I think I have a video. It was here. Now this was when our people walifika parliament.
Pictures zako ni dreamy.
I have that picture on my I have that video on my highlights on Instagram. What I remember, I swear, I'll post that video. You guys see. The commander was like, no, so all the police officers started going back because the people were too many.
Like
so
retreating.
Water cannons in Arudi, the police on horses on Arudi, police on foot on Arudi. The commander was shouting, "Mbona mnarudi?" And then mwaskume, bro, nobody was listening to anything.
Like,
the people were so many that we could nobody. So that was the moment the people overpowered the police so much. So hapo ndio sasa ile video wase wakaua ule boy alikuwa amevaa white. The boy who had white was shot up in parliament, and the other guy. So now that's when it happened, because like people were so many, nothing could be. The police could do literally nothing. So the only thing left was just to kill people. So yeah, that's a sad picture. So I remember stepping back, and then now this is the moment now they started shooting and killing everyone, and then I think they touched a police car hapo kwa mlango.
Do you think it was touched by people?
I don't think it was touched by people.
Because till date, no one has ever said anything about it.
Yeah, even the CCTV footage never came out.
If you remember, even the BBC documentary, they were saying,
no
one was really bothered about that.
So we were here, we were with this crowd, and they started shooting people. Because I remember we just had bullets going from every direction. So we had to step back here, because you don't even know what's going on. And then sasa, when they stopped shooting, the sasa tukapata now they kill people. This guy got shot on the leg. This guy got shot on the back. There's even a certain cop who was here, his brother was killed.
Yeah, the one who cried.
Yeah,
next
this is the cop car that we were saying. We don't know if it's true, got torched. So I remember this time we went to parliament, tuko nyuma kabisa, and then our politicians started now coming out, running away. So some went through the tunnels, but those who are when you are ODM hawakutoroka. So this was Babu jumping over a fence. It's crazy because the people had brought the body of the guy in white hapo kwa mlango ya parliament. So this is a picture of the guy. So people carried that body from the front side of parliament to the back side of parliament. Wakaiweka hapa.
What was the aim for that?
So they were taking the body to the MPs to see. No, people were bringing it to the cops actually. But the cops now started running away. So now we were pushed back all the way to huko nyuma ya parliament. Because people were carrying the body. I think Teti Sulu has a very good picture of people carrying him wakimleta towards the cop, because we were asking mbona mnatuua. And then the police ran away, so they took it to kwa mlango ya parliament. So that now the politicians can see. This was the cop who the brother got killed. I think this one also someone related to him alikuwa amelia, alikotoa amelala chini akitokana na makarao. Some of these are very graphic because his face wasn't covered, so I can't show them. But now people started covering him, and then gari ya makarao ikakaa ikamchukua akawekwa kwa gari. It was so sad. And then now this is now the aftermath. So in ile fence iliangushwa when people broke in. The police cars zikigonga na mawe. It was I don't know. It was so crazy.
That's future.
Yeah, that's future. Tukitry kutafuta mawe. This is a friend of mine called Kaloi. We also met on that day. Hapa ni watu walirudi, hapa ni hapo nje ya Basilica. Watu walirudi but hawako retreat fully, so people stood hapo Basilica. But generally, bro, it was just such a chaotic day, man.
That was a chaotic day.
Yeah, but now
I remember tukiongea baadaye unaniambia hamjaweza kutoka town until way later.
Tulika, and you remember what's crazy is I think on that day tulitoka town, tulitoka parliament tukateremka na ile njia ya the one that goes to KICC. Because we were afraid of now going back to Cardinal. So we went through that KICC route yenye inaenda kutokezea pale Nairobi Cinema. Tukaenda hapo Nairobi Cinema just before tufike Malaso skating hapo. There was so much damage. Aga Khan walk. So the street below it ndo inakuanga Moi Avenue. So kuna wasa walikuwa naibiwa hapo Moi Avenue. Just before tufike tukapata na mzee fulani akikami opposite direction akwambia msiende huko mtaibiwa, kuna watu wanaibiana huko. That guy is the one who saved us, a very old guy. Akatwambia msiende huko mtaibiwa. We had to turn, go all the way back to parliament, ndio sasa tukarudi njia ya Cardinal. At that time, I remember I even closed my camera because together there was so much distraction. There was even a police car that had been touched up in the GPO, but now I didn't have the courage to shoot.
Yeah.
Because like
ni
usiku pia, so tulificha tu camera.
Kwani at around what time was that?
It was almost 7. It was dark. It was like dark. Yeah, it was very dark.
And when it gets dark, it gets messy.
It gets very, very messy because now thieves are involved. But yeah.
This is what any using a zoom.
Yeah, I was at 7200.
Oh, I love this. Like the shots are.
Yeah, this is more of hiding behind the
truck.
Yeah, it was such a crazy day, man. Such a crazy.
Oh my
but
God.
It's crazy that nimeona perspective yako of what was going on behind the people.
And it's like we were in a different Nairobi.
Yeah, it's like we were in totally different places.
Hey.
But yeah, these are the things now we always have to go through anytime you're shooting protests. It's always so dangerous. But sometimes that zeal of as me wananga like as a photographer when you're capturing anything relating to war, you have to be very, you have to first of all have a very straight mind. Na pia usikue biased at all.
Yeah.
So you have to know why you are there. You are there to capture police brutality. You're there to capture the unity of people. You're there to capture anything that's happening. So many times, especially in these days, I found myself tear gas inarushwa. Ushazoea so much, you don't even run away. So you just stand and like even like shots like this, like I knew I had tulikuwa tumekula tiaga so much, I knew the exact time italipuka.
Unajua itafanya hivi alafu
so for as long as niko a safe distance, so I just stand back and just wait.
You know,
and just shoot and just anticipate for it to blow up. So over time, over like the 3-4 days we had gone for protest, you kind of like, I don't know if it's part of trauma, but you kind of like your body inazoea tu, inajua tu.
Do you remember me asking you how protests have affected you?
Yeah.
Do you think that body kuzoea thing is normal? It is not?
I don't think it's normal because seeing people beaten up so much, seeing people dying in front of you, seeing people being shot on the head, and then your first instinct is, let me take a picture of this. I don't really think it's a normal thing. I think like it messes you up so much. You're just so sad, you just want to capture it and like show people later, or maybe like look at it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's psychologically okay. But like...
Now it's been 1 year later from seeing all this. How did you do anything to like take care of yourself mentally?
To be honest, I don't think I did. Unajua tu wanaume inakwanga tu. Unavumilia tu and you just let it. But to be very honest, I feel like the constant, how can I put this? Like constant fighting for your country kind of like helps. Now that kind of like becomes your new therapy. Because like if you experience all this and then you just be silent and never either go for protest again or never support protest again, then I feel like now that messes you up way more than like I saw my fellow Kenyans dying. I don't want anybody else to ever die, so I have to continuously support the agenda so that nobody else can die. Because bro, it could have been your brother, it could have been your father, it could have been your neighbor, it could have been you.
Could have been you, man.
Yeah, so I just think you just continue fighting.
So
you rather die on your feet.
That is how you take care of yourself mentally.
Yeah. You just resilience. Resilience. I know it happens differently for different people, but like for me, I just feel like I have to be more resilient. That's the only way I can cope with it. But like, to be very honest, 25th was bad. It was very, very bad. It was brutal.
I keep on saying, I think me getting the muscle pulls on my thighs, that was a way of God protecting me.
Yeah, not to go ukombele. And it was crazy.
Because the same day I had quite a couple of people who got to parliament.
Mm-hmm.
My friends texting me like at 3 a.m. They're like, bro, I'm not able to sleep.
Yeah,
Like
at
the
all.
things I've seen, I can't
Yeah.
erase that from my head. And that's why I'm saying it's not normal for, you know, our human minds have not been conditioned to be
To see
seeing such things.
so much trauma.
And now it makes it worse when we say, ni kawaida nimezoea kuchekewa si wame.
Huwezi sema
si
umezoea
kawa-
at all.
It's not kawaida.
Yeah, it's not normal at all. At all. Seeing so much brutality. Kwanza, I remember the 3 protests before Parliament Day, we had seen so much brutality.
Oh yeah,
man.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
It was so much.
Because
it was
again,
so
as we're
much.
saying, when there are less people on the streets,
Yeah.
there's more brutality, there's more
brutality,
chaos.
There's more chaos.
The more the people, the
Yeah.
less the crazier it gets, but then it's also quite
It's also-
intense.
that's true.
But also for the nini, nani venye alishikwa.
Yeah, this was, let me show you guys. This was the time Future got caught.
Kidogo mamaliza mtoto wenyewe.
Yeah, walikuwa wanataka kummaliza. But I remember Future fought off those cops, man.
Guy.
So he did. And you know what's crazy? We had literally just arrived.
Hey.
Like this was not even like 5 minutes in. Tulifika, we parked up close to Nation. Hapa ni hapo kwa hiyo kuna kwa nabaki na kwanga hapo opposite Nation Center. Now this is Kenyatta Avenue hapo to the left.
Yeah.
So we had just arrived. That was the first time I also ever saw a tear gas. So tulifika, tumesimama, you don't know what's going on. When you arrive at Progress unakwanga so fresh. Tuliona tu tear gas imerushwa and you literally see it coming towards you. So we start running. And then that's the day they had undercover cops. Plain clothes.
So many of them.
So they are the ones who caught. So Future was caught by 3 plainclothes cops. He fought them off. His phone fell, I remember. His glasses fell. Simu yake hata like undo the guy that was close ndio alimwekea, alichukua akamwekea. So we ran, tulikimbia huku juu and then tukarudi, akaniambia simu yake imeanguka, tukarudi tukitafuta tukapata undo the guy alikuwa ameokota na ameweka. Ndio uliangusha simu.
You see things like those, like undo the guy picking up your phone and taking, like keeping it safe for you, ndio inanifanya niamini that the protesters on the streets are genuine.
That's true. That
Whoever
day
is
very
out here,
genuine.
everyone who's out here to do the dirty work, because on 25th, Obra's phone also like fell.
Ilianguka.
Ilianguka. So it's right after nimetoka kuchapwa na maji. So I'm there calling him. I'm like, yo, you need to come pick me up right now. I'm done bad. Alafu, another friend of mine had tried calling him. Another friend of ours had tried calling him. And whoever picked the phone, akashika simu. Kamwambia, ameangusha, uko wapi nikulete. So, our other friend alipelekewa simu, akanipigia akaniambia Obra, niko na simu yake inaletwa. Like, people are just, I feel like people are so genuine on the street. Some people, not all. I mean, kila mse. But yeah.
So interesting. It was so interesting. These were the cops that were going to catch Future. I took this picture a split second before Tushikwe. So this was the friend we had. We had Future and this guy. This guy was caught. His friend is called Samurai. Samurai got caught. He was even taken to Central. We had to go pick him up at Central like at 11 p.m. So alishikwa. So this guy is the one who's going to catch Future hapa nyuma. So this was one of the plainclothes.
For doing what? For being out there?
Yeah, just for being kwa protest. So huyu alimuendea. So yeye na 2 other guys and then Samurai pia akakujua na some other guys. And then now they were caught.
Crazy.
It was crazy. It was such a crazy time. But anyway, at least we were there to document and
we're here
see
to
and
document history.
Yeah.
Because these are photos we're gonna use like probably
for years.
50 years from now, maybe itakuwa case study and say.
Ni ukweli. History, this is how now history is made.
And this is how it's documented.
Yeah, because our kids will literally study the pictures we take today.
And I mean, at the back of my head, however much I know I put myself at so much risk, I know I'm doing it for the future generations.
Yeah.
And so that this history is documented.
Yeah, that's true. If nobody is there to ever document, then we will never know how we survived.
Yeah. Also, you know, if we weren't doing this, the outside world ungekona sema ati Kenya mna protest, iko wapi evidence?
Ni ukweli.
Pole kido. Ati they took yours. Oops.
Ati they are good people, but anyway, I'm going to... Wow! Hii maandamano ya mwisho?
That's 25th.
Yeah, that's crazy. Braxton, lazima tuendelee. Yani hatuwezi simama for anything.
Yeah.
Hatuwezi simama for anything. Anyway, we've done... What's the time? 9? We've done 2 hours.
Yeah, we've done like 1 because we started at like 8
yeah.
officially, but yeah, tumeongea.
Okay. I feel like we have pretty much covered everything. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask before tumalize. Mnaweza uliza any question that you have. We have given our experiences. It's also been so lovely listening to your experiences and the things you went through. Now pictures of 35mm. That time is such a bold lens to use for protest. Wow. Next time Dr. 85. More 35.
I don't know. Nilipe last week. Yeah, 25th nilikuwa na shoot na hata sijui ni gani hiyo. Sijui nilikuwa na shoot na gani, but it just felt weird not having my 35.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like a closer lens.
It was a zoom in. It was a 16 to 30. It was a 34. I don't know what it was. Nimesahau. That 5 to 70 kuna kitu kama hiyo?
Kuna 24 to 70.
Haiko 24 to 70. Anyway, ilikuwa na hiyo range, but bado ilikuwa a bit wide. But yeah, I was just like, I'm used to being
up close,
where there's
inside the action. Yeah.
Because when you're there, you get more emotions.
That's true.
And like when you zoom, it's kidogo different.
Yeah, ukizoom inakuanga. Yeah, that's true. Because you get a totally different experience when you zoom in.
Yeah.
Nafaniwa show video ya Braxton. Braxton ako na video noma. Na nani pia ako na video noma sana. Immaculate also did a very good video.
Yeah. The one for the remembrance?
Last year. For last year.
Yeah, that was dope.
Let me see if I have. Yeah, that was sad. Nikiwa hapa nikipiga picha, but tulikuwa parliament. There's a video of, I wanted to show you, when was this? You see, now this is now the police retreating. Tulikuwa parliament your time. So makarao wakirudi nyuma, and then now people were coming from all sides. Walikuwa wamerusha tear gas kila mahali. And then this was your time. Sasa kina Babu Owino alikuwa amekam hapa, watu wakitoroka parliament. I remember even so people ndani ya parliament walikamadi hapa kwa gate yetu, walikuwa wamengoa flags.
Oh my God.
It was so chaotic. Hapa nakumbuka huyo boys alikuwa ameshutiwa, alikuwa ameshutiwa mguu. He was just crying, anashangaa. This was literally after people had been killed.
I saw someone recently ask where this guy was and whether he's okay.
Yeah, we never heard from him again.
But I think hiyo pia inakwanga like it's something that saddens me that you will take photos of someone who's injured, but you won't know how they
you never know how. Yeah, that's true. Ide waliaka hizo watakano anzapo mbele. Walikuwa wamekula mmea.
Huko ni wapi mlipita? Mkapata nini?
Hapo ni hapo Koja. Gari ilikuwa imechomwa random. Hii hata ilikuwa mati imechomwa. Mati ilikuwa imechomwa hapo Koja kwa hiyo roundabout. Tulienda home na giza hiyo day, nakumbuka yani tulitoka, we were so scared. Living town that day was crazy.
Hapo ndio nasemanga it's the Lord that protects us because I see Kerry asking about choice of lenses and why.
Why do you opt for the 35?
Again, as I had said, one, it is because that is what is readily available to me. That is what I use on a daily. And two, I'm out to get the emotions. And I feel like I want to be in the action and feel the action. But it's a risky one. One. I don't think I'd advise
anybody to use a 35.
Anyone to use a 35 apart from me.
35 is a risky lens.
It's a risky one.
Me, I use a 700 because I'm just scared, man. I don't have any other reason. I'm just scared. But like also, I love the compression that comes with the 70-200 because it kind of like, it's a very, how can I explain it? It brings, because 700 is a very close lens, so it gives very heavy details of specific things that happen. So kama mtu maybe ameshik, I can be a fly on the wall. So I can just stand mahali and then just like look at everything that's happening and then document it in segments, so that way I get to cover context more, be nini ilikuwa ina happen within a certain scope of.
And with that you're able to like make come up with a story.
Yeah, come up with a story.
No, load pale.
Sijui kama ni net yangu, but I think it should still be live. Let me check. I don't also want to keep you here for long.
Okay, no worries.
Let me see. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. If nobody has any other question, I think maybe we can finish there.
Did I have questions? I think I had questions. Let me remember what my questions were. So you do this again?
Definitely. I will do this again.
What would be your advice to someone who is going to the streets for the very first time?
To shoot or to just attend?
To shoot.
I'd say, and I feel like I kind of experienced this for the recent maandamano, and I low-key regret it. I feel like the last maandamano I was so scared, so I feel like I didn't really take as good pictures, and by good I mean I did manage to cover everything that was happening clearly on ground. So looking back, I feel like I would have been slightly more courageous. I know the last maandamano was very crazy because of the police and everything, but like I feel like I would have been slightly more courageous. So I feel like if you genuinely decide to go and cover protests, kind of like what we've said today, try go with multiple people. That is gonna allow you to be at least safe and have someone on the lookout. And then good thing, if you kama mko wengi, find a way of harnessing enough courage to get as very detailed shot kama zenye una getting zako zinakuanga. So the stories are told very, very well, and you know that by looking at a picture, and it just speaks for itself without even having someone to explain it to you. So first of all, make sure you're branded. Get either a press ID and get like a press jacket or something. Make sure you're branded, and the police and even civilians can clearly know your press. So that's number one. That's very, very important. Make sure you wear very comfortably. You wear very comfortable shoes. Make sure you go to courageous and move around a lot. Don't stand at one place. It might also be very hard also to move around. If it's your first time, try go behind police cover. It might become a bit easier. Just follow them place wanaenda uko nao. Usiwa irritate pia, because I know police also get so irritated, especially if people are fighting back. Don't be too close to their face at unawapiga picha, especially if they're not doing anything brutal. Just like keep your distance. Try going with a longer lens, like an 85 and above. It will be safer if it's your first time. And then the more unaenda ukizoea, and now you can go do wider lenses.
To add on that, I'd say also try to to be very mobile, because the minute you have very many things, just carry exactly what it is that you need. The other thing that also works for me is be fully covered, like back to long sleeved. Try have your neck covered and also legs, because I think maji ya water cannon, I feel like it didn't affect me much because I was fully covered, but when it comes directly to your skin, and I also just feel like hizo fumes za tear gas, it is irritating. So that is one thing I try to do, always like fully covered, like dress in a way that you have very little skin exposed. Team courage. Just be courageous enough. I go out with the notion of if I don't do this, I don't know who will. So I gotta do it.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Someone has to do it. Someone has to document
do
it.
man.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, just make sure uko tu na hiyo courage when they just go shoot, go see the things that happen. But pia uko rada, ukiwa protest lazima ukae rada sana.
True.
You have to know what's happening, where the police going. I remember protest ya juzi, there's a time there were the 7 Land Cruisers za makarao. Ulipatana nazo?
At what time? At what point?
There's a time I even have those pictures. Kuna time tulikuwa tumejificha.
There were specifically 7.
There were 7 Land Cruisers that were chasing people the whole time. I don't know if you met them, but there's a time sisi zilitupata tukiwa hapo Koinange Street. People had to hide behind rubies. We were literally tulitokezea hivi tukaangalia sasa tuko na Land Cruiser 7 zikikam full of cops. Na wakikuja wakirusha tear gas. I don't know if you saw them. Maybe ilikuwa side ya maybe ilikuwa side yenyewe ilikuwa. But it was crazy, those 7 Land Cruisers. That's why other people started closing off the roads. Ukinotice ide ya juzi, so many roads were closed.
Yeah, because
it was because of those Land Cruisers. Those Land Cruisers ilitu terrorize. Kwanza Nation Center ilikuwa imefungwa yote. Na kitu ilikam quickly ni watakano njoo na kamingi sasa ikisukuma mamawe. But the 7 Land Cruiser terrorized people so much, people had to close the roads ndo zisipite. Zilikuwa crazy. Walikuwa na kama wanatia gas wa 7 sawa wanashuka, wanakam na mguu. Wakikupata
unavurugwa. Hao ndo walisumbua.
Hao ndo walikushoot kwa mgongo. I swear. Bro, those guys were crazy. Those guys were crazy. Braxton bana, inafaa ukam siku moja tupige hiyo story tueleze wase nini ili happen your day. But Braxton really has, I was even telling him inafaa you come we do an episode together and talk about. Kwanza wewe, I know it's very interesting cause he purely shot videos. So I know videos have way more motion than pictures.
Yeah.
So it will be so interesting
to see that. At times tunakuanga zile za mbona shoot video. Because the things that I'm seeing, I'm like, I know I'm going to take a photo of this, but it's not going to bring it out in like the best.
That's true. Let me see if I can find that video and then tumalize.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. Au makara wajuzi, Braxton anawajua, walitu terrorize. There's a time walipita, watu wakasema lazima tufunge hii barabara. People close the roads, all of them. Ndaipata kweli ni gani?
Ukishaona hiyo unafaa kuja iko around. It could be this.
Think it. Is this one? This one? Oh, it's in horizontal. Pain. Mtu hezi turn on. Yeah, you can't. Pain. Braxton, I wish ungekuwa umezi upload mahali YouTube. Because on IG ya comp hatuwezi rotate. Yeah, I can't rotate it.
I remember that.
Yeah. Do you know this guy? This guy is, I always see this guy on the thumbnail. You ever met him?
Yes, I've taken photos of him. I kind of feel like he's usually one of the paid guys on the streets.
Oh really?
But I don't know.
Because I've seen him so many times.
Same outfit.
Yeah.
Always with the tear gas.
That's true.
But kuna mtu niliambia hivyo akaniambia maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah, inaweza kuwa is a genuine person. Because I've never seen him cause any distraction whatsoever. Anakuanga always with the people.
Yes, with the people and always the one talking.
Yeah, anakuanga so vocal.
Yeah.
Anakuanga so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think mtu anafaa kunini kutake interview yake get
story yake vizuri. I really wish angekuwa amefanya more interviews mahali tuzione.
I think he has. I remember him talking, but I can't remember where.
You saw the video of the certain lady going to tell the cops acha kushoot wase hapo Basilica walikuwa wameka medic.
Yeah. Tunaweza get kwa nini ya Ubra.
Oh yeah, it's Ubra who shot it.
Yeah.
I really hope it's in landscape. Bro, that video, I remember the first time seeing that video, I don't know, I could not believe it at all.
That is Zaha.
It was this one? It was this.
Simple hadi anesthesia kilipukia watu mnafanya nini na mnatibiwa pia nini? Na sibagui. Sad, it's bad.
It's so sad.
Kuna wagonjwa 10 watu wanakufia hapa tu ambulance ikifika.
It's so sad. Walikuwa wameblokadi mabarabara, wanakata ambulance zipite. It was such a crazy day. And it's so inhumane because even the cops walikuwa wanashughulikiwa hapo ndani ya medic center.
Like literally anasema sibagui watu wenye nashughulikia. But you still anyway, at times I just sit down and I'm like, well, our parents didn't have to go through such stuff. And then we're having to go through it. And I feel like for the older generation, imekuwa like a thing of catching up. Wame catch up na, okay, sawa, sasa tunaanza kuget mbona nenda kwa street.
If this is how the police act, if politicians don't listen to what the people are saying, I even saw stat flani recently. So alikuwa anasema hiyo stat, sio kani Uhuru Kenyatta ama nani. Akisema the youths currently are like 70% of the population. And there's no way 70% of your people are complaining and you're not listening to them.
That's what I keep on saying. Like it can't be all of us are crazy. And then you're saying
it's got 3/4 of the country na complain and then nothing gets done at the end of the day. So, but anyway, that's why we always go document this. That's why we always watch your video nikalia, bro. It was I remember the first time I ever saw that video. The first time I ever saw that video was it shattered my heart nikiona the fact that daktari anaenda kuomba makarao hata ache ambulance ipite na anamwambia tu tutawa watu.
She was actually volunteering for the first time.
And everybody, it's crazy how medics came to volunteer, press come to volunteer, and then everybody just gets harassed.
It's really unfortunate,
It's
man.
so sad. Tuko sawa, we have literally talked about anything. If anybody has a question for Victoria, feel free to ask. Mimi najua ndabaki hapa na nyinyi for future streams. Kumpata na kwa ngumu unapata kwa Europe.
Come on.
Kenya. So finding her is not usually as easy, but it was so nice. It was so nice to have you around.
Do you feel like group therapy for guys who've been shooting this would do? Like, would you be interested to be part of such a thing?
That actually is so interesting. I feel like that would be very nice and very important. Doesn't even have to be therapy wanaogopanga. So inaweza kuwa tu like a support group or something where people just meet and then just talk.
I have one coming up.
Really?
You're already on the list as well as Guru. Because I've been looking at people I know. I'm not asking you to come because you're going crazy. But I've had conversations with people and I know people need to debrief. And also just have like a sense of community where we are discussing things like ukisema kuhusu mliona msi akishutiwa na relate mi siko zile za wow kweli guy it's not happening. You know, like just being part of a community where you understand each other. And whatever comes from that, that's all on you. Like if you end up creating a community where you will now be able to hold each other's hands after such. Because we are in very emotionally intense environments, which are, again, I repeat, it is not cover for someone, for us to be saying tumezoea kuona watu blood, we are not dogs. Kuzoea kusema tumeona watu wamededi. It's not kawaida. That is not how our brains have been conditioned. Yes.
I feel like that will be very important. It will even lead to, you see how I was saying when people are going for protests, you go as a group, it will eventually lead to a community of people where if we need to cover protests, we can be going as groups.
That's actually my aim. I want one that just have a debrief and equal to like a safe zone for everyone that is there, and two, to get community, because najua kuna watu mi najua a couple of people, like if I meet with you and I'm alone, I know I'm gonna continue working with you.
Yeah,
But then there are people who go to the street and they don't know anyone.
That's true.
So I'm trying to bring people together. And yes, create a community. Honestly, I feel like it's the least I can do.
Yeah, that's true. Hizo communities are important sana.
And if any one of us is watching and they are in either, they have been documenting protest in Nakuru, Mombasa or Kisumu, they can please DM me. I have something great for you.
Nice.
Coming up.
Kigan ona ako ndani already.
Oh, nice. Kigan na quad kwa group.
Yeah, that would be so nice. It will be such a good space for people to be able to talk about their experiences. Ndio pia mtu asione you went through all that trauma and you're alone. Because listening to people's perspectives and knowing upi experience, huyu alishutiwa na tear gas, huyu alishutiwa na water cannon, huyu alikuwa hapo wasewa kimadwa. Listening to everybody's perspective kind of like helps you a bit to not feel like you're alone. Am I going through everything alone?
Yeah, and also I feel like like a problem shared is a problem half solved.
Yeah.
I know so many of us have been sad. Mi sijui kama okay, nilikwambia kuhusu kuchoka, but sikumbuki the last time I was genuinely happy. I just like I get one pocket of joy and it's just the sadness just comes in. Kuna times nakuanga so mad at everyone and anyone. Kwanza after protest mtu akijaribu, like my friends who are not in the protest asking me, "Oh, how are you doing?" Nakuanga tu zile za usiniulize because I think I might just like crash out on you. Yeah. Na cheki guru anasema kuna time alikuwa nafikiria ako depressed and very angry. That wasn't good for my mental health by the way. Yes. And I don't know I whether people, whoever it is that I invite to this first one, because I can't have like everyone. Hoping it really goes as I've thought through. This is why I want to have that, because ninajua watu nakwanga nikitext na wao at 3 a.m. I know they are up because insomnia, not because they like that is how they'd wanna be, but mimi personally najipatanga tu nikiscroll hakuna kitu na do mpaka 3 a.m. but the anxiety of I don't know, I just wanna be informed, like nitalala alafu kitu ihappen nijipate that and just community and
community is always very
zone.
important. Very, very important. Your safe zone itasaidia wase sana, because bro, I didn't even know Guru was actually going through this.
Mi kwanza you all men saying sijui ati ya maman, mi kwanza I'm targeting you. Lazima mkuje I understand you're a man, but you're a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah.
These are things that affect you emotionally and mentally. So
not everybody processes such things the same way. I know kuna watu imewa traumatized.
Na kuna watu hawaja have to hiyo space ya kuwa lose enough to feel, to allow the vulnerability and also understand, oh yeah, that was really messed up.
And especially as press, I don't think anybody will really understand you clear. Like civilians wenye tu wameattend maandamano hawawezi elewa from perspective yenye wewe zile vitu umeona.
And for us, we keep on editing and seeing
and you see it so many times
over and over again.
Even at protest, when people get shot at, you are the only person who doesn't run away. You just sit there and see what's happening so that you can shoot, while everybody else amekimbia.
Sisi tunakwanga tukiuliza vita iko wapi twende huko.
That's true. That's true. Tafuta mali action iko.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this works and helps a person or two. Yeah, and nice. Thank you so much for having me here.
Karibu sana. It was a pleasure. It was lovely. Hopefully, if we ever do this stream again, it shouldn't be about protest. Hopefully, sasa utakam to chill.
Yes.
It will purely an entertainment stream.
That would be nice.
Just come chill, have fun, vibe. We can even organize one with multiple people. If the community grows, tunaweza pangata all of us together.
Yeah.
We can do a stream.
To just like banter, isikuwe kila time we're talking about.
Isikuwe tumekaa msaa kuongelelea mashida za serikali ama mashida zetu.
Yes, but unfortunately at this time, this is the conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah, lazima, it was so necessary and it just had to be done, definitely.
Yeah.
lazima ingefanywa ndio wase wajue. But anyway, thank you so much to everybody who has been here. People have actually been here since the beginning.
Thank you guys.
We have had an average of 16 people. This is gonna remain, so I know it's gonna get way more views afterwards. I'll continue pushing it. We'll try see also if you can get clips of the different segments tumekuwa nazo, and then we see how everything goes on from now on. But that was Victoria, guys.
Yay.
It was so lovely. It was actually so lovely having you. Tumekuwa na Jabari hapa. Jabari amelala.
Very warm.
Amelala through the whole segment.
Yeah.
Like people are talking about protest, me I'm just living my best. I only
Best
have 9
life.
lives to go.
I know, right? Everywhere, manze.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much everybody who has been here. Asanteni sana. We will meet next time. I'll see who I can be able to get next time. Ukuje tupige banta pamoja. But it will be so nice to have you again.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm down. Me for as long as unitengeneze chai.
Ya masala.
Ya
Na
masala na chakula niko sawa.
Sawa. Bye guys.
Right, bye. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, that was nice. That was so nice.
Kuna time nilianza